Greetings from the Doable crew and happy Halloween. I'm Coach Janine, the Good Witch.
I'm Coach Cheryl, the kitty cat.
I am Coach Thais Joshi.
And I am Coach Sarah, and I am just too old for this sheet.
Today we're chatting about three things: our favorite treat, our favorite tip, and our favorite Halloween memory.
So, my favorite treat is almond joys, but I instead really like these from Costco called Unreal, which is the same thing with healthier ingredients. My favorite tip is candy is available all year. It's okay to have some candy on Halloween, but it's always there. So try to just keep that in mind. You don't have to go crazy. And my favorite memory would be the fact that my dad's birthday is on Halloween. So every year it's always special because I get to say happy birthday to my dad.
That is so sweet.
Love
Um,
it. Happy
growing
birthday
up,
tomorrow,
yeah,
Dad.
it's your dad. Yeah, and growing up, I grew up in Venezuela, so we didn't have Halloween. We celebrated on February. We dress up on February during the carnavales. So we did just pieces of sweets like candies, like the strawberry one, and that was my favorite. But since I have been celebrating Halloween, my favorite was the Twix. And right now, I don't eat that much sugar, so I'm eating the Hue or human chocolates with the hazelnut butter filling. And my tip is before going trick or treating, I have dinner with the family. So we're all satisfied and we don't have a lot of space in our tummies to fill it up with candy.
Mhm.
And that's it.
Those are
Oh,
great tips.
I didn't talk about my favorite memory. So there is a dentist, a local dentist that buys your leftover candy. And my kids separated what they wanted and what they not. We went there and they asked, like, who's going to eat all this candy? And they said, well, we go to the airport and put it in the lounge for all of our veterans and our servicemen and women. And they say, hey, wait here, went to the car, grab everything they had, even the ones that they love, and donate them all. So that's a very,
Mm,
very fun memory of mine.
That's great.
I love that.
Yeah. Well, my favorite is actually sometimes hard to find, and it is the York peppermint patties. So my children will pull those out for me. I'll put them in the freezer, and I'll have one every so often as my treat over about the next week. Not all day, not every day, but these are my favorite York peppermint patties. And luckily, they're not always around. And my tip is my children, of course, I have 4 children. Everyone loves the Halloween. We have a very big neighborhood that comes all through. But they would get pillowcases full of candy. And we realized that's not good for our nutrition or our teeth or overall. So we would do when they were little, we would have them enjoy it for the day, for maybe a couple days after. Never in their rooms. It would always have to be downstairs in a bowl because I would find them under their beds with the candy. So we'd do it where it's in the room, in the living room, all together. But after a couple of days, we'd put them all together and we would exchange it for a toy. So it'd be like a buyback. So we would take the candy and then give them a different toy that they might have wanted. It's a little harder now with teenagers and above because their toys are literally $500 or more. So we don't necessarily always do that. We kind of let natural consequences take their role, where we might say the next dentist appointment, if you have cavities, you're going to be helping pay for those fillings. So we let them make their own choices at this point, but we also let them know that there may be some payment later on if they go crazy with their candy. And my favorite memories are I'm displaying all of this October 31st, and then I always have a number that I carve into my pumpkins every year because 17 years ago, I had a little pumpkin of my own. One of my children were born. Number 3 was born on Halloween Day. So my favorite memories are actually having the entire neighborhood. We'd have 20 to 30 kids over before trick-or-treating to have dinner together, hang out, play in the backyard, all the families together, and then they'd go out together to trick-or-treat. So those are my favorite memories. And I only have about 1 more year to do that at home with them.
Hmm.
Sweet.
Aw, happy birthday to him tomorrow.
Yes. Happy
Yes.
birthday to Andrew and your dad, Cheryl.
Yeah.
Yes. 2 good
Or-
birthdays.
Or today, if you're watching this on Halloween. Thank you for sharing that, Sarah. So my favorite treat was always anything peanut butter and chocolate. I would steal everyone else's if they weren't looking and throw in some Mary Janes and Good and Plenty's in its place. But today I actually don't even crave those mainstream chocolate peanut butter things because they really don't taste the same. I swear it must have been real food like centuries ago when I was trick-or-treating. So, but I still love peanut butter and chocolate today. I just try to get a healthier version. I would say my tip is do not buy candy that you like to give out. Just don't. Like that's totally playing with fire. It's in front of you and it's just too tempting. So I do not ever buy anything that I like and nothing with peanut butter and chocolate. And I also just want to say my daughter has peanut allergies. So I've always separated the peanut butter stuff, whether it's Snickers or, anything else with nuts in a separate thing. And then just kind of give people a choice because even the smell of those peanut butter things can get on other stuff. And, it would send my daughter through the roof and she'd feel like her whole bag was contaminated. So separate those peanut things because there's so many kids with allergies. That's my tip. And my favorite memory, honestly, is all of my Halloweens as a child. My parents had best friends. They're from the Bronx. After they had their girls, my family had 4 girls. I have 3 sisters. Our best friends have 3 girls. And so between us, there were 7 girls. The parents moved an hour out of the city and we grew up there. And it was phenomenal because it was so exciting to come home on the school bus from Halloween or on Halloween and then getting ready for our costumes, the parents getting together, the mom staying back with the younger daughters, my baby sister and the other youngest sister. And then the rest of us would go out trick-or-treating. And I can just remember it like it was yesterday. It was freezing. The trees had no leaves. It was crunchy. It was the smell of the air. It was fighting over who's going to ring the doorbell first. And just the whole thing of being outside at night in the cold, I absolutely love. And I could still hear my dad who's passed away and my dad and his best friend passed away 6 months apart. And so I can still hear them behind us laughing. And sometimes I remind my kids, like, we're growing up at the same time as they are. And so thinking back now, hearing our dads laughing, I don't know what they were laughing about, but it was scary and it was cold and it was so much fun. And Sarah, your kids would have loved ringing the doorbell to this one particular house where when they ran out of candy, we got 10s and 20s. And we ran really fast after that and went home. So
I love that one.
so it would have been cavity money, but we were like, ooh, 10s and 20s. And so when they ran out of candy, that's what they would give. So it was great. And I love it. And so thank you everyone for sharing your favorite treat, your tips and your memories. It matters. And so in the comment below, share with us, viewers, what are some of your favorite memories, your favorite candies, your favorite tips, and happy, happy Halloween. Be safe out there.
Halloween, everybody.
Happy Halloween.